Hi everyone, welcome to the show today. I am excited because I have Tor Muller from Get Satisfaction on the show. And every now and then I come across a tool, an online-based tool that I want my audience to learn about and make use of for their business. And what I do is, part of doing a tool review, I also get the CEOs or the co-founders or someone higher up in the company to come on the show and really show us how to use the tool. And at the same time, also tell us about their business, so we get to know the people behind the business. So go ahead, introduce yourself to my audience.
Hi, I'm Thor Muller. What am I? I am the Chief Technology Officer and co-founder of Get Satisfaction. I've been doing it so long I forgot what I did.
That's good, because I'm sure you wear so many different hats. So today you can do this, you can do that. I totally understand. And
Yeah.
so just so that the audience understand what Get Satisfaction is, so let's give them some insight into what Get Satisfaction is.
Oh, sure. Well, we're probably the simplest way to create a customer community that can answer each other's questions, help solve problems. You can help solve their problems in public. So you can answer a problem once, and everybody gets the benefit of that solution. People can share ideas about how to improve your product, and you can brainstorm with them about new ways of doing things. It's really a way to collaborate with your customers, engage with them, both on your site as well as on the rest of the web. So we have a Facebook app that allows you to do all of these things inside of Facebook. We allow you to take comments people make in Twitter and pull them into a larger conversation.
Okay.
And so it's really about creating a social business. And all this can tie back into your own internal tools, like if you have a help desk tool or a CRM tool, you can take what happens in the community and pull it back in to your business. So,
well, it's a neat way of doing things. It's basically putting it out there in the open and just basically having that engagement going on. And something that might come across to an entrepreneur is like, what if they're gonna say something bad about the business? Do I want it in the public? So how do they handle that?
well, people used to say this a lot more 3 years ago because there was no Twitter and there was no Facebook as we know it. But over the last 3 years, I think people have come to realize, wow, people are going to say what they're going to say, whether I like it or not. I better learn how to converse in public. And in fact, I think a lot of companies realize that their best opportunity to combat the negative things which inevitably happen once in a while is to show a commitment to transparency. If instead of saying we don't make mistakes, anything negative has to be private, instead you say we are human. We do our best, but sometimes we make mistakes. What matters is how we handle those mistakes. Then smart companies are realizing that they have a lot more to gain by showing that commitment than in pretending that they're perfect.
Totally understand that. And what I'm curious to find out is, how exactly did you guys come up with the idea for Get Satisfaction, and also how did you figure out that there was a need for this product?
Well, we had the need ourselves.
Okay.
We had another business, and we shipped packages to several thousand customers, and we were constantly dealing with customer service issues, and it was very repetitive, because you'll find that your customers have the same issues over and over again, and you don't want to just send them a scripted response. You want to be real with them, right? You want to be human, but it's very, very time consuming. So what we found is that when we would answer people in the comments section of our blog, we got a number of really interesting benefits. We were able to say it once and have it be discoverable by every other customer who found the blog, which was only a small number as it turned out.
Yeah.
But also customers would talk to each other and help solve each other's problems. And so it was based on that experience, we realized that, well, the need was there, the benefit was there, but a blog wasn't a great way of doing this. Because blog is essentially about broadcasting, right? So we decided that we needed to create a new tool, a new platform for realizing those benefits, and that was what Get Satisfaction became.
Definitely. I was listening to a podcast the other day where the guy was saying how he runs his business online and he gets questions from his client, and it basically builds a frequently asked questions page where you get the questions. If it's a new question, you add it in there with the answer. So how is this more beneficial than actually doing that?
Well, so the questions and answers are one of the things that we do. But the way that we do it is that people can come and they can ask their question. And if the question already exists, if there's already an answer, we show them that before they've ever submitted their question.
Okay.
So that's the fastest way of getting them an answer, is showing them a question that's already been answered.
Okay.
So that's number one. Number two, if they post it as a question and other people come along, they can, the next people can click a "I have this question too" button.
Okay.
And what that does is it's like a vote. And it makes that question rise in popularity.
Wow.
So you get a frequently asked questions that builds itself over time, and over time the old questions will fade away, and the new questions that are about the latest product will come up to the top. So we call it a social knowledge base. You're using the conversations that people are naturally having to automate the building of that FAQ. So it's like magic.
Yeah, when I first saw the tool, I really loved it. I was like, I'm going to get this for my website, actually. And what I want to do is also get you to tell us some stories about how people are successfully using your tools, and so we can have some more concrete idea of how to use Get Satisfaction when we make use of it.
Sure. Well, so some of the concrete things are some of the things I mentioned.
Yeah.
You might have a site that ships stuff, like my old company did.
Okay.
And the question might be, how long does it take to ship to Canada? Right? You're a company that's in New York City, and you have a customer in Canada, and so that gets posted publicly. Anybody who comes to the site can see that somebody has asked this question.
Okay.
And so you, as the company, go in and you answer. It takes between 3 and 5 days to ship to Canada. That's your official answer.
Yeah.
You can make that the official answer that sticks to the top of the page. But then somebody else comes along who lives in Canada, and they answer, and they say, actually, I just ordered something, and I live in Canada, and it took me 2 weeks to get my shipment. But the company was so great about it, they gave me a gift certificate for my next order.
Yeah.
And then somebody else can come in and say, I had a shipment to Canada, and I got here in 2 days. So what you get here is all the dimensions of this answer. The official answer from the company, and answers from different customers who had different experiences. And so what this does is it creates better answers, but it also creates a sense of connection. Now the people who are ordering from Canada start talking about which of the products is better for the Canadian climate. Yeah. And that leads to a different conversation, which ultimately may lead to an idea, which is carry warmer clothes for your Canadian customers.
Yeah.
And now the company knows they have a better sense for what kinds of products they should be carrying to better tap the Canadian market. So it starts off as kind of a questions and answers, very practical, reduces the customer service costs, can lead to more sales because the company knows what to build or what kinds of products to carry. So those are some examples.
So not only are you getting feedback from the people using the tool, you're also getting a section of a specific portion of the people who are using your clients actually becoming more like evangelists or being more passionate about your product. And if that's the case, how do you now leverage those people who are more passionate or more like evangelists of your product? What do you do in that case?
Well, there are lots of things you can do. We allow our companies to name customers as champions.
Yeah.
And so you give them a badge which shows up when they participate in the community. It says champion. But you can also give them additional powers. So you can grant these champions the ability to help you moderate the community, to change the titles, to make the content more easily read or discoverable.
Yeah.
And so these are some of the basic things that people do. But also, a lot of companies will discover who their champions are, their evangelists are in their community, and then they'll invite them to do other things, completely different kinds of things. They might invite them into a beta testing group where they'll give them access to the new version of the product months before anybody else. Wow. Or they might invite them to come to the headquarters and tour the facilities so that they can make them even stronger evangelists. Okay. So there's lots of things you can do. The power of a customer community is that you allow this to happen naturally. You're not forcing it.
Yeah.
And because most people who are evangelists don't do it because they want something. They don't want to get paid. They don't want necessarily to get free stuff. They do it because they love the brand. They love the product. And so you don't want to corrupt that by over-engineering it. Okay. And that's been our philosophy all along the way.
So just let it just go naturally and let it build itself. Did you have any example? I see on your website you have several different companies on there, and you can basically press a button and you see a website and you hear the story of how they're using your tool. So just give us some examples of specific companies that actually have used your tool and had that basically the evangelist come out of a result of doing your tool.
Yeah. Well, I should say that we have every size company using our platform. We've got tiny little companies, one-person companies, all the way to Tide and Microsoft and Panasonic. So it really works for any size company. So an example would be Nike, a larger company. Okay. They wanted to collect feedback from their customers for their running products, and so they opened up. They actually have this product. You may have seen it. It's called the.
Is it the shoot where you run and it posts your stats?
Exactly.
Yeah, I have a friend that uses that. I always see it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, so one of the conversations, so somebody proposed the idea that they should allow people to override the
Hello.
And put their own. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Skype just let us the signal down a little bit, but don't worry, I did that part up. But you were about to say override. Start again. Sorry about that.
Okay. So the suggestion was to allow people to write in their own numbers, their own mileage for how much they've run, instead of having the device report back, right?
Okay.
And so some of the people really liked this idea. But then a whole group of people came in who are serious runners.
Yeah.
And they pointed out that this would undermine the whole idea of this reporting if you allowed people to write in anything they wanted. And so what you ended up with was it looked like a great idea in the beginning. Later on, after a lot of discussion, it looked like not such a great idea.
Yeah.
So that's where the conversation around the feedback is as important as the feedback itself. And along the way, you discover that these are some incredibly passionate people about your product. They may know more about your product than you do.
Yes.
Right. Another example that I love was there's a bag manufacturer. They make messenger bags called Timbuktu.
Okay.
And you're familiar with them?
Yeah, I am.
When they started inviting people to have conversations about their product, some people started asking questions about, do you make a diaper bag, or do you make a camera bag? Yeah. Well, they don't. They didn't make either a diaper bag or a camera bag at the time. And so the customers started coming together and sharing tips about how to make your own diaper bag or your own camera bag from third-party parts and a Timbuktu bag, essentially hacking your own bag, right? Oh. So not only were they able to connect with these customers who loved their bags so much, they turned them into completely new products, but they also discovered that there were these new categories of products that they should be building. Wow. So those are some of my favorite examples.
Definitely. Right now I'm sure the audience, they really want to see how to use this tool. So let's go ahead and show them how to use Get Satisfaction.
Okay. Okay, so here we are at the Nike running site. And as I mentioned before, here they're asking for feedback on their products on the website. And they do it by using one of our widgets. So rather than just having a website, which I'll show you in a second, we also provide widgets that companies can easily install so that they can add a little tab like this, or they can make it a link. We have several other widgets. This is our most popular widget. It's called the feedback widget. So it's right here. So if I click that, you get an overlay right inside that page. So you can ask your customers for feedback, and they don't even need to leave the page.
So right within the website, just by clicking on that link that says feedback on the side, it creates this overlay, and we can see the interface. on the website.
That's right.
Okay.
Exactly. So right from here, I can share an idea about what I think Nike should be doing. I could ask a question. I could report a problem, maybe a bug I found, or I could send them praise. Right? All of this is public, and other people who come to the community can see it. But if I go back to idea here, you can see the recommended content kind of changes each time I click one of those buttons. There's a topic here, manually input run data.
Okay.
If I like it, I could click me too, and I'll be notified. After I log in, I'd be notified if there were new replies on that topic. So I'm going to go here and click manually input run data, and I'm going to go to the community itself.
Okay.
Okay. As you can see, this person over here, FreeFlow1, shared this idea, and now there are over 500 replies around this idea.
Oh, okay.
Right? And if I like the idea, again, I could click the button and join 3,000 other people. What's interesting is just how detailed that customers get in responding to the idea, right?
Yeah.
And so, for instance, Andy writes practically a full blog post to explain how he feels about it.
And this is how you can actually see those people who are even, basically very passionate about your services and what you're providing.
That's right. And as you can see, these are the best points that people have made. So people in the community actually vote the points up, right? So these are the best ones. And then you've got the full conversation that runs on and on for 500 replies.
And you know what? One thing I like about it too is not only is the tool giving them a means to maybe sign in through using what's it called, the Twitter, the Facebook. So, and also it gives them a chance to log in so you can see who the person is, as opposed to it just being anonymous and you don't know who's saying what. You actually know the person.
That's right. Yeah, we like to encourage people to use their real names and their real pictures too when they can. So in the Tide community, we have people asking questions, sharing ideas, reporting problems, etc. And so what's nice about how we organize the community is that every one of these topics is designed to get to some kind of outcome.
Okay.
So a question is designed to get to an answer. Idea is designed to get some kind of change. Problems get solutions, and praise get acknowledged. So this person says they are getting clean underwear for the first time. Thank you, Tide. So the nice thing about how we do questions is that somebody asks a question, Tina asks a question. This is about one of their programs going to Tennessee. And so here, Mandy at Tide, she's an official representative. She's able to answer Tina Parker publicly and mark that as an official response. So the next person who comes from Tennessee wanting to know this, wanting to get this answer, they get to this page and the answer is right there at the top. Another point I'll show over here is that we believe that so much about customer service and about customer engagement is about the emotional aspect of it. So we encourage people when they post to express how they feel. So over here you can see we're capturing the emotions as what we call the satisfactometer. So like 29 people have said that they're happy, right? And a few people have said that they're sad, but overall you can say that the mood in here is positive. So those are a couple of examples. Anything else you want to see?
Oh yeah, that's I like what I've seen so far. Just to give people the idea, this is they come on here, they engage with you, and then you can not only take the ideas that they're giving you and actually implementing and maybe build upon your product, but also you're finding out what really drives the community you build. What do they like about what you provide? And I love this tool.
So one of the things I'll end on this. The beauties of this is that we actually intercept questions before they get posted, in case there are already answers. So here I've just typed in, can I donate clothes? I click continue. You can see there are a number of topics about clothes donations and other programs for the needy. So it's a great way of really building on the engagement as it emerges within your community.
Yeah, and this is kind of like the frequently asked questions kind of thing you will find on a website.
That's right. Yeah.
Okay, we're done with the demo, and now I want to ask some more questions about the business itself. What you guys do, get behind the scenes, so that the audience can learn more about what it took you guys to get to this point as a successful company. So just give us some more details as to first of all, where do you see Get Satisfaction going towards the business, the features, the additional features you see adding to it?
Sure. Well, so today there are more conversations happening in more places than ever before. And so there's a real challenge of dealing with the noise, but it becomes noise if we're not careful, right? So we want to do more and more to transform all these conversations into directed activities.
Yeah.
So I showed you some examples of that, with questions becoming leading to answers, and problems leading to solutions. And so we want to reach into all the places where people are having conversations, where chatter exists, and create paths to convert that into really true collaboration. And so some of our first examples of that were our recent Facebook app, where many people spend all their time in Facebook these days.
Yeah.
And so it's very important for us to allow companies to support their customers and foster that engagement there. And so we'll be doing more and more of that. And the other end of the cycle, what we call closing the loop, is allowing all those questions and answers and other activities to make their way all the way back into a company. So who is this person named Tina in your community? Wouldn't it be great to know that she is a customer who has been purchasing you for 15 years and has been evangelizing you at industry events for the last 5? That she's a teacher and really cares about one of your 3 product lines. I mean, understanding who your customers are all the way through their participation in your community is really important. So, and then finally, it's really important for us to make it fun, keep it fun, and by making it fun, continue to pull people in and engage them. So that means integrating aspects of cooperative game dynamics, and allowing people to be rewarded for their contributions through reputation. So those are some of the themes that we're looking at over the next year.
Okay, so when you guys started, I'm sure when you guys started, there was no other products out there like you guys. I'm very positive of that. So what exactly did you guys do to market the product?
In our case, we really focused on building a product that people would use, and in their use, they would show it off to other people. And the nice thing about a social product is that for every company that adopts it, they're showing it to hundreds or thousands, maybe even millions of other people, and that's how we grew. One of our early customers was Twitter, and we gained thousands of customers who just saw us being used by Twitter, and that's happened over and over again with all of our customers.
So that was basically the social aspect of you working for a client and they're using your tool, but at the same time, everybody who knows them is able to see that they're using your tool, I guess, right?
Yeah, that's right. And then the other thing that we did a lot of was attend events. And events don't scale real well because you have to go there. And there's a finite number of people at an event. It might be 500 or 1,000, a couple thousand. So there are people who believe that events are a bad investment, but that hasn't been our experience. In our experience, people are really tuned in at events, and these are the kinds of people who will go off and tell other people and be very engaged. So I would say that for us, events have been really successful.
Oh, okay.
And then the third thing we've done a lot of is partner. So we work with companies like Zendesk, which has a help desk tool, and Salesforce.com, and a variety of others, agencies, marketing and social media agencies, and all of these companies have a lot of influence over their own customers, And so it's a way of being leveraged, more leveraged across the marketplace. So those are some of the things that have been very successful for us.
Definitely. So is there any event that comes to mind that you remember that you guys went through and turned out to be was very productive for the amount of effort you put into it?
Well, I'll tell you, we actually threw an event.
Oh, okay.
We had an event in 2008 called Customer Service is the New Marketing.
Wow.
And so it was about a theme that was very close to our hearts. We invited some of the brightest minds doing interesting things in customer service. People like Tony Hsieh, the CEO of Zappos.
Wow, I like that guy.
Yeah, the head of customer service for Virgin.
Yeah.
And others of that ilk. The guy who started Geek Squad, they all came and they presented at this conference, and we had 500 attendees at the incredibly gorgeous Golden Gate Club on the Presidio in San Francisco, and that really helped put us on the map, doing that event.
Definitely. So basically, going out there, and not only are you guys using the viral thing of when someone uses your tool, they get to see that this tool probably is powered by Get Satisfaction. Also, you're going out there and networking with people by going to events, and as well as also holding your own events, as well as making use of partners that you can leverage and get into their own crowd. That's a neat idea. And also, I'm sure when you started the business, you guys had some challenges you had to go through. Just share with us some, because what I find is that when you share, challenges that you go through in your business, people can take the lessons and learn from that too.
Yeah. There's so many challenges we had to face. It seems like we faced all of the challenges you could possibly face, other than, being too successful too fast. That's a good problem to have.
That's a good thing. Go ahead.
Yeah. Although one of the things is that when you have a startup, the early days are great because you're all potential, right? And so I look back on the very early days with much fondness. But then you get into the hard business of figuring out what your business is and how to make it grow. What are the levers you can push and pull? And that requires a lot of trial and error. And the world doesn't stand still for you to figure it out, right? And while we were figuring it out, Twitter and Facebook became worldwide phenomena. And so we had to adapt to a changing environment as well. But I would say that one of the hardest things to do, one of the biggest challenges we've had, was dealing with, we had this vision about what we wanted to build. And this vision requires investment, requires commitment, and it doesn't necessarily pay off, for a year or two or 3 or 4, right? So that's on the one hand. On the other hand, you have short-term reality, right? You need to pay people. You need to close the accounts to convince your investors to kick in some money. You need to hire people, so you need to convince them that you're going places. And so it's a multi-faceted challenge every single day. So I think the hardest time for us was coming out of the financial collapse of 2008, where it appeared like the world was shutting down. And so that affected our mentality, and we started to focus on just the next deal, the next deal, the next deal. And so we started to do things with our product where we would focus on just those short-term needs that our customers required. And it took us several months to climb out of that mentality and start to invest also in the long-term needs of our product and our vision. So I think that holding those two in your head as an entrepreneur is so important. Your long-term vision, which requires daily sustenance and daily investment, and your short-term customer needs. You need to make every customer happy, right? You need every one of them matters. And so servicing both of those sides is I think, what is required to build a great company.
Well, Thank you very much, Tor. I mean, I really enjoyed the interview. Not only have we got to see a great tool like Get Satisfaction, you have also shared some insight as to how exactly you guys run your business, and I totally enjoyed you coming on the show. So, how can someone get a hold of you and connect with you?
Well, probably the simplest way is I'm Thor at getsatisfaction.com. I will accept your emails, although I get a lot of email. You could @message me on Twitter if you use Twitter. I'm Tempo, TEMPO on Twitter, and those are probably the two best ways.
And
You could send me a gift in the mail. That'll get my attention.
And not only that, please, everybody go and check out Get Satisfaction and make use of it for yourself.
Yes, please do. Love to have you.
Thank you very much for being on the show. Welcome back. I hope you enjoyed today's interview. And before you go, I want you to do me a favor. I'm trying to build my community of entrepreneurs who find my content useful on Facebook so we can engage, have discussions live right there on Facebook. And to get to my page on Facebook, you go to www.facebook.com/HYVASSISTANT. And again, it's www.com. What am I saying? No, it's www.facebook.com/HYVASSISTANT. And when you get there, what you're going to do is look for a button that says like, and you click on that button, and then basically you become a fan of the page. It's that simple. You don't even have to leave me your email. Just click on the button that says like. And again, the page to go to is www.facebook.com/HYVASSISTANT. And that stands for HYVAssistant. Real easy. I look forward to seeing you on Facebook. Have a great day.